Last week was chaos. 3 races, multi-class punts, a broken setup and a big fat chunk of iRating straight down the drain. So this week, I did the only sensible thing. I went back to basics. No multi-class, fixed setup, more practice laps than I've done all year. This was going to be the race, the one where I proved I could handle GT4s, where all the practice, all the setup tweaks, all the line study paid off. Did it work? Well, let's just say iRacing had to send me an email about my choice of words after this one. Before we get into the race, let's talk about what I did differently this week, because honestly, it's the first time I feel like I've actually practiced properly since my first few races in iRacing, instead of just faffing about. First off, no multi-class, no random setups. I went fixed setup just to build some confidence back in my ability. I took that big variable off the table in the hopes that I'd have one less thing to blame when it all inevitably went sideways. Then, I hit the practice servers. You know the drill by now. I always put up the fastest lap times from the top splits that week and make them my target. It doesn't matter if I'm nowhere near at the start, at least I know what's possible and I've got something to chase. But not just a few laps this week, I'm talking hours, proper stints. I've been trying to treat practice like a mini race. Same tyre pressures, same fuel loads, and the same mindset. If I mess up a lap, I don't just quit out, I finish the stint. Treat every lap like it counts. And a big shout out to the subscriber that gave me this tip. Run a full tank and push hard until it's dry. Best advice I've had in ages. It forces you to stay consistent, deal with tyre wear, learn how to drive with different weight in the car and build that muscle memory lap after lap. I started with the basics, just getting the line down, visualising the apex points, where the exit curbs are, where I want the car to be settled before I even think about the throttle again. If I miss the apex, I force myself to work out why. Did I brake too early? Too late? Did I not trail enough? Did I turn in too early? Or too late? And braking, that's been my biggest weakness. So this week I've been properly dialing in my brake markers. I've been watching replays of the fastest drivers to see exactly where they hit the brakes, how much pressure they're using, when they're releasing, and then I just go out and do it over and over. Trail braking too. Now I'm forcing myself to really think about where to trail off and how hard to stay on the pedal through the corner entry. Okayama is perfect for that too. Those tight, cambered hairpins absolutely reward you if you get the trail braking right. When you nail it, the car just bites, the front talks to you, and you can feel yourself hooking up a line that's a tenth faster every time. It's not just hot lapping either. I actually jump into official practice lobbies with other people, battling, getting used to people defending, working out where to pass, working out how to take the corners off the racing line. Sure, it's messy sometimes, but it's the closest thing to race conditions without going all in at the iRacing casino with your ever so valuable safety rating. So yeah, this week the plan was simple. No excuses, no blaming the setup this time, no pretending I don't know the line. No multi-class lottery, just me, the car, and putting the work in. And for most of the race, it worked. Right up until it didn't. So, race day comes. All that prep, all those hours in the practice servers, now it's time to see if any of it actually mattered. I qualified on pole, and the target was simple. Get a good start, survive T1, settle in, and prove I could do what I'd drilled all week. Another massive shout out, but this time to everybody who gave me rolling start advice a couple of weeks ago. I actually listened for once. I held the pace car gap tight, didn't weave like an idiot, didn't get mugged the second we went green. When the safety car pulled in, I got the launch I needed, no panic, no chaos, no hero dive bomb to ruin it all at T1. Just me, the line I'd burned into my brain in practice, and the field behind me for once. I've clinched a lead straight off the rip, and I've got a nice buffer behind. I'm hyper aware of every tiny input. The wheel feels heavier, the pedals sharper. I'm second guessing every squeeze of brake pressure, every flick of steering lock. Push too hard and you light up the tyres, and the GT4 punishes you for that like nothing else I've ever raced. Once you cook those fronts, they're gone, and the understeer creeps up like a hangover you thought you'd dodged. Each apex I'm aiming to brush it with the front tyre, not clatter the curb like a hero, just kiss it enough to keep the nose tucked in. Then I'm letting the car bleed out wide, using every inch of exit curb I dare without running myself out of road. I can almost feel the lap time in my fingertips, where I'm leaving tenths on the table, where I'm carrying momentum just right. I check the relative. The AMG behind isn't falling back. If anything, I see the numbers getting smaller through the tighter sections. He's got better pace through the slow corners, and every time I check the mirror, he's just that fraction closer. And it's only lap 1. The tyres are cold, the pressures aren't up, and I'm already sweating. I know I can't afford to defend yet. I've got to keep my lines clean, run the race I practiced. Lap 2, and I'm already playing Slipstream Games. The GT4 doesn't punch a massive hole in the air, but it's enough that if he stays glued to me, I'm basically towing him around for free. So now I'm trying to squeeze out a gap, brake a touch later here, carry a bit more speed there, anything to bump him out of that magic window. And it kind of works. For about half a sector, I see the relative flick up by half a second, good. But one lazy corner later, he's right back in it, and I'm swearing at myself. It's too early to start defending, I know that, but I can feel myself overdriving in the twisties, which is exactly how you end up killing the tyres. End of lap 2, he's still back there, probably having the easiest ride of his life in my slipstream, getting a free tour while I'm out here doing my best unpaid tow truck impression. I'm actually hitting my marks, not hero lap pace, not even my usual pace, which is weird because every corner feels as tight as it did in practice. Every apex, every exit curb, I'm trying to get the car right on that edge that I drilled into my brain all week. Inch perfect, but still not enough to shake him. He's tucked in, living rent-free in my draft. He doesn't have enough of a pace advantage to throw one up the inside on pure speed, but I know it'll only take me messing up one corner and he'll be on me like a rash. So my whole world shrinks to the basics. Stay smooth, no big inputs, keep the fronts alive. It's like flipping back through every lap in practice. What worked, what didn't, what I promised myself I'd stick to when it really counted. A quick glance at the relative and I notice something. We're pulling a gap on the pack behind. It's just me and the other Merc now. Everyone else is dropping off corner by corner. Just the two of us. One mistake away from switching places. I start spotting a pattern. I can pull the lead out in the first sector. That's where the car feels hooked up and I'm confident. But halfway round through the slower corners, he claws it all straight back. It's like I'm on a bungee cord. Stretch it out, snap it right back in. Then through the last couple of corners, I'm just quick enough to stop him getting a run down the straight. Not exactly a master plan, more like survival, but it's working. A few laps in and he's closer than ever. Coming out of T9, he's glued to me. One glance in the mirror and he's right there, filling it. He tries to stick with me, pushes a little bit too hard, gets a squirm of oversteer, and that tiny mistake buys me just enough breathing room to stay ahead. I'm trying not to get sucked into driving his race. Every time that relative flickers closer, it's tempting to brake later, roll more speed, get greedy with the throttle. Anything to keep the gap. But I know that's exactly how you torch the fronts and hand it to him on a plate. And then, just when I think I know how he's playing it, he switches it up. Into the hairpin, I catch his nose poking out in the mirror. Maybe he's bluffing, maybe he's just testing me. See if he can make me flinch, move my line, open the door. I stick to what I drilled, hit my marks, trust the break point. no sudden moves. It works for now, but I can feel it. We're getting closer and closer to the moment he stops hinting and just sends it. Skip forward to lap 8, and he's fully on attack now. He's all over my rear, showing his nose every chance he gets, just waiting for that one crack. It's working too. I'm trying not to let it get to me, but I can feel it. I'm braking a touch too late here, turning in a bit too early there. Nothing big enough to put me backwards into a barrier at Mach 10, but enough to pile more heat into the tyres than they really want. Every corner exit I'm listening for a run. I'm trying to keep my lines tight, trying to stay smooth, but the pressure's real. One slip and he'll be alongside, and I know I'm not getting that place back if he does it clean. It's that slow mental drain. You'll think you're driving the same lap you did 10 times in practice, but now there's a shark fin in your mirror and suddenly the braking point moves by 5 meters for no good reason. For now I'm hanging on, but I can feel it. I'm the one doing all the work and he's just sat there waiting for his moment. Lap 9, the penultimate lap, and this is where it all kicks off. He's welded to my rear bumper, all the pressure in the world, but honestly, it's been great racing up to this point. He's trying everything, flashing the nose up the inside into the hairpin again, trying to force me to cover it off. I hold him there for a couple of corners, but he's not backing down. Then we both barrel towards turn 8, and that's when he punts me off. No question, 100% on purpose. Into the next corner, I'll hold my hands up. I'm open to the criticism in the comments. Obviously I wanted the position back. It's a close call, but I'm pretty sure the corner's mine. I'm right alongside. I'm pushing hard though. Slight understeer kicks in and he turns into me like I don't exist. And as far as I'm concerned, Rob's first place. If him punting me was by accident, he should have given me the place back regardless. What do you think? Last lap. Now I've got a Porsche glued to my rear bumper. Brilliant. Into Antwood curve. He shows his nose up the inside. I'm half expecting him to absolutely send it, so I run wide, just waiting for the inevitable accident. That puts us side by side for the run down to the hairpin. I give him the inside, fine, take it. And I swing around the outside. He's ahead for a heartbeat, but I've got more speed in the inside line into the next corner. I'm giving him more room than anybody deserves. Charity line, basically. He gets a better exit because of it, and what does he do with it? Drives flat out straight into the back of me. At this point, I'm absolutely raging. Punted twice, from the top of the podium to losing iRating because of 2 butthurt morons with 0 racecraft. And it's still not over. Coming around the last corner of the race, I get a way better exit than the BMW ahead. This is it. Go for the overtake down the straight. And what does he do? He just turns straight into me. Textbook iRacing, really. Drive well all race, get binned by the Braincell Trifecta. And that's how you lose a podium. And half your iRating, thanks to 3 absolute weapons. What a bunch of fundamentally indecent human beings. Really top tier sportsmanship. So yeah, I filed the protest, but apparently calling the replay file moron punt doesn't go down too well at the iRacing HQ. They even sent me an email about my choice of words. So I'm not holding my breath for that one to stick. And that's racing, apparently. Can't wait to do it all again next week. Thank you all for sticking around. I'll catch you all back in the cluster Futz next time. Take it easy.